Well, hello everybody. This is Edouard from Australia, and we are here for another live stream, another episode. And today I'm happy to be talking about motions. Usually I'm more presenting instruments, but today it's a creative effects that we'll talk about. So Efx Motions, for those who didn't see it yet, is our new creative plugin. And yeah, I'm really happy about this plugin, and I'm really happy to be with you today to talk about it. So I won't do really a tour of the effect, describing all the features. I think there are many people already on YouTube, on internet, who covered everything in details. And I thought maybe today it would be great to start from a rough sketch of a track, and just to figure out how to use it, maybe how to improve stuff, how to get creative with it, and to start from something pretty dull and blank, like pretty much, raw loops, and to get something more elaborated, something with more movement, with more like texture, just making things more interesting, and try to use this amazing cheat code to get something more interesting out of the existing tracks. So what I'm gonna do is just take the tracks one by one. We'll open it and we'll just figure what we can do and how we can make things a little bit more personal, elaborated, interesting, and so on. So in the meantime, well, before, I created a small, like a trap drill beat, which is quite simple right now, and hopefully in, let's say, 40 minutes, we can improve it a little bit, make it more interesting, and discover a few tips and tricks in the plugin. And then, of course, if you have questions, during the presentation, I won't answer these in the beginning, but we'll take like 20 minutes or half an hour to discuss the questions you sent over. Some people of the team will scan the chat for me and select the questions, and I'll do my best to reply for you guys. So here we have this sketch of a track. We have three parts, like a sort of intro, some sort of first verse, or I don't know, whatever, and then a sort of break. So what we can do is start by the first phase, and maybe listen to the melodic part, the small percussions, and see how we can work around this and get something better. So this part sounds like this. So I have a kind of vocal pad, some small percussions. So I guess in the beginning, we can just try to process this vocal pad. So I got it from Splice. So I guess like a lot of people who are working with Splice, the aim is to make something that everybody can have, more personal and to more elaborated, maybe to put a signature on it so that it sounds more personal. So let's open Emotions and let's figure what we want to do with it. So here you didn't hear the rest of the beat, but the beat is basically a drill trap beat, but it's missing a lot of stuff, a lot of customizations, let's say. So I'm gonna customize this pad first, and basically what I would like to have now is make it more like a drill oriented, trap oriented. So let's figure something for this, basically. So what I'm gonna do is use this small preset browser here and browse by type of preset I want to do. So if you want to do some drill or something, I guess it's great to have some kind of reverse and this kind of stuff. So I'll just go randomly in reverse and see if we can find something that sounds good. Okay, this thing sounds granular. This is too dirty. a drill guitar. I think it doesn't really match with the sound. This is good. Okay, so this is good. So what it does here, it's mainly the beat repeat who is doing everything. So you know, you have all the tabs with different main modules, and the last tab is an FX plus beat repeat tab. So here what you're hearing is mostly the beat repeat doing rolls, and some reverse, and some pitch down on the third row with some slight decay, which makes it sound like the tape stop and a tape stop. So I don't know what you think, but these pitch things are too much. So we'll just try to remove them. I can even maybe replace it by some reverse. Maybe it's not loud enough. Let me see. Be a bit better for you guys. So sorry. Jumping back on the beat repeat, so I replaced the pitch down by some reverse. So we have something less like invasive, let's say. And it sticks pretty well to the like drill spirit. So I'm going to adjust the dry wet. So maybe half-half or something. Okay, 70% is maybe better. Hear it more. What I can do as well, I will also create an automation. So on the bottom, you have different modulators here. You can customize them the way you want. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to set it to pretty slow, like 16 bars. And I'm just going to increase the effect at the end of the 16 bars. So let's say we start from 60%. And what I wanna do now is drag and drop this like a small tracer here to assign it to the dry wet. And then what I would like to do is maybe go, around here when it's at the maximum level. So something like this. And it will gradually increase the effect. Okay, so it's just ramping up like this. It's pretty good. Also, so there is a tape stop here. I think it's really great, but we don't want to hear it every 16 steps, you know. So as you probably noticed, every step has a value, and for the tape stop, it's one every two, one every third. So basically, you can choose when the tape stop will kick in. So if it's one every 4 times, it means that the sequencer will turn like 4 times, and at the 4th time, the tape stop will be heard, but the previous times it won't be heard. So basically, if I'm playing back now, now I can hear it, and it's good because I just wanna have this like tape stop effect at the end of this phase, you know, here. So basically, it should kick in right at the right moment now. Perfect. So here I have a small tape stop at the end of my first of my intro, which makes a relatively good transition to bring the next phase. And maybe I can just add a little bit more, you know, movement customization here. So I can see that there is the filter tab opened. Doesn't seem to do much right now. Sounds pretty good. Maybe I can go with this high pass and just modulate the cutoff. Could work. Otherwise, I could do some phaser or something. So you have pretty nice list of different filters you can access to, with a lot of modes for some of them. Like a clean one, same one, gritty one, very sharp one. This one is really crazy. But I want something more subtle here, so maybe I'll just go for a phaser, like this. And so I'm gonna create a motion here, like this maybe. I just want the cutoff to move a little bit, not too much. Like this, so slowly. And I'm gonna increase the feedback. That's pretty nice. And also I would like a bit of stereo here. So on the left, you know, you can control the rate here. And also you can offset either you can offset the phase or the rate of the left and the right. This way I will have a different movement, phase movement for each ears. Will create some nice stereo. Just want it very subtle. Like this, it's pretty good. It doesn't come all the way up front, but it's still, you know, adding a little bit of moment. And I think we're good as a starter for here. And as you could hear in the back, we had a few percussion. Sounds super dry, super like just basically dropped a few samples here and consolidated my patterns. So here we have a group with all the percussions. Let's loop just here. And here, let's, you know, just get a small creative kick. You know, maybe something that adds texture or ambience. And actually, if we could complete the transition with, like, we had a tape stop here on the first track. If we could have something that reinforces the transition at the same time, that would be great. So, so I see something like maybe more like ambience, or maybe something that creates space around these like these percussions. So I'm not at the right moment here. Maybe I don't want to completely destroy the sound. Let's hear just the percussions. Maybe I'll go for something more reverbish. So don't judge me if I select some presets. This machine is really deep, so you can do everything. If I start drawing stuff and programming stuff, we'll get lost. So I prefer like to select something that is really interesting, and the sound designer did a really great job. So prefer to benefit from it and then modify it to my convenience. I think it's the best way to do. Otherwise, you can just do sound design, but here I'm trying to find something subtle, but still that, you know, creates space. And I want to preserve, you know, this the rhythmic. I don't want to mess too much with it. This is good. This is exactly what I'm looking for, like something that creates an ambience. Maybe I'll just remove the delay, so I'm heading straight to the Efx tab. I know this delay is a bit too much. I can leave it a little bit, but not that much, like let's say 6%. Maybe the reverb movement is a bit too strong. You can see that the dry wet here is modulated by one of the functions here. This is what like brings some cool like movements in the space, like in the reverb. And it sounds pretty good already. I'm gonna just turn down a little bit the dry wet. Pretty good. So here we have pretty much what I was looking for. Yeah, it's not too much, it's just what we need. And like I said before, let's try to reinforce the transition towards the next phase of the track. So what we can do, we can go the easy way. We can enable the sample slot, and let's just draw a cool shape, a sort of riser like this. So first, let's select maybe the right sample. Just with white noise, it's already pretty good. This is cool. Some bubbles. You know what? I really liked one of the first ones. These ones. Pretty good. So, like I said, here I just want something simple. So I just drew a small ramp. This curve is controlling the noise level thanks to the motion amount here. And now we are just going to adjust the speed so that it kicks in just at the end of the transition, you know. Oh, we can even add a little bit of stereo like this. Ah, it's better. See, without. It's nice. Like this. So now let's go for 16. I'll need to adjust my curve as well. Okay. So the stereo makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so the stereo is messing up the timing, so I'll just remove it. And now okay, this is pretty nice. Let me reduce a little bit the volume, filter out a few low frequencies. Nice. That works. That works. Remove a little bit more low frequencies like this. And I think we're good. Okay, this is pretty clean actually. So let's just see how it sounds with the drop now. Okay, so let's say we're done for the first part. So now we have some work to do here on the second part. So what we can do at first is maybe start with the 808. So the 808 sounds pretty normal, and we can probably make it more like personal, make it more dirty maybe, texturized. So we'll start from a blank preset this time, no preset. So let's solo the 808. I hope you have headphones now, because otherwise you're probably hearing nothing, but motions will help a little bit on this. So what we want to do now is add texture, add distortion maybe. I don't think we'll need padding here. So let's start with a bit of noise. So here I don't really want to hear noise without the 808 playing. So instead of using the curve like this, I'm gonna use something else. I'm gonna use the dynamics. So the dynamics is different from the motion editor. Here, the motion envelope, it will react to the incoming audio. So here you have a dedicated tab, and here you can see the 808. Why does it sound so weird here? Okay. So now what we want to do is, kicking noise when the 808 is playing. So if I go down, it will reduce the amount of noise, but we have nothing here. And if I go up, it will increase the noise when the 808 is playing. So let's try. Which is good, because as soon as the kick is, like the 808 is playing, I have noise, but I'm not really bothered by the noise when it's not playing. So that's good. It's pretty convenient. And now I'm gonna filter out some of the noise. So here I like to use notch to do that. I will use a notch like this, and what I want to do is maybe have something very thin and create a very small movement like this, a bit like the phaser before. Like this, pretty good, slower. And what I want to do now is fit this into distortion. And for the distortion, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use the dynamics. So you can see this little line here. Okay. Sounds a bit weird. It's a bit detuned, but never mind. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just going crazy. All right. So now we have some pretty decent distortion. And what I like is when you have noise fed into the distortion will kind of eat the noise, and it will fight with the sub, to get out, and it creates a pretty organic feeling. Maybe we can reduce a little bit the noise. All right. Okay. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna stop here for the distortion. So the next element who needs some curation is this. It sounds super boring in that state. And luckily, Motion is pretty good with drums, with drum breaks as well. So here, I won't really use drum break because it doesn't really match the style. But here, first, what can we do? You can do a lot of stuff, actually. You know what? Let's go for the easy way. The beat repeat key is a great way to create variations. So let's go with hot rolls. So I'll just see what variations fit the fit well, you know. This is good. This is really nice. Okay, let's go with this, and maybe let's just draw a very subtle volume automation, just to change the groove of the hats. Okay, like this. It's pretty good. Maybe we can try. And so you can basically tweak the steps the way you want to get like different results. Dull, a bit better. Maybe we can add a few rolls. Okay, I like it that way. So you see, it's really it's a pretty good cheat code, you know. I don't have to do much. I just browse a few presets, customize a little bit the beat repeat to my convenience, and I have some pretty decent hat rolls for trap and so on. So it sounds already a bit more elaborated. So I don't think I need to change the second one. Yeah, the first one is more upfront, so the second one I think we can leave it that way. And maybe we can continue with the third phase. Yep. So here I thought it more as a kind of break. So let's hear. So yeah, so I duplicated the first vocal pad. I think we'll need to keep it just to preserve, let's say, the spirit of the track, but we'll add other layers and we'll make it less important in the mix. Just maybe I'll just reduce a little bit the effect of the distortion on the 808. This is better like this. So here I duplicated this pad. Let's curate this one first. So what we want to do here is we want to make it a slightly different, right? We don't want exactly the same feeling as here. So let's try to find something, just maybe to add some stutter or a bit of a gated effect or something, maybe texture at the same time, maybe a bit of everything. Maybe a bit of like yeah, small, like maybe some small rises or something. Okay, this is pretty much exactly what I had in mind. No, this is too EDM for me. It's pretty nice. Maybe a bit too invasive. You know what? I like the first one. So it was in like 2-bar rises. This one was really nice, actually. Yes. Okay, so we'll maybe just remove a little bit of delay. It blends super well with the sound. So I'm actually pretty lucky. I don't know what you think. Okay, so we wanted more space, and so I didn't mention this, but I added some, like 2 strings, this one, and actually I pitched up the second one. So this will take a lot of space. So this one needs to be more tidy, let's say. So an easy way to do that is we can try to remove a lot of low end. So I'll just use the crossover to do that. So here on top you have a crossover. So it's disabled right now, and if I enable this band, I can either decide to let the sound through or to filter out the frequencies. And I think I'm just going to filter out. For example, if I was processing a bass or something, I would use the pass-through, so that maybe I would process the high section of the spectrum without touching too much to the fundamental and so on. But here I'm just going to filter out what I don't want. Maybe like this, a bit like pretty thin. That works. I like it actually. Yeah, let's go for this. And so that the string will have much more room to yeah, maybe I was too extreme. Yeah, that works well. Okay, so now this string goes with the other one. But right now it's a little bit like la la la, a bit too classic, let's say. So I'm just going to bring very simple movement on the first one. So I'm just going to use volume like this, a sine. I think this works. A bit of stereo. It won't kill anybody. Okay, like this. I'll keep it pretty simple. Yeah. I think I can maybe go crazy on the second one. It works pretty well, like it's pretty melancholic and so on. What about this one? So here, same thing. I don't have any preset loaded. What can we do here? We could try some transgate maybe. So I'm just going to use the volume module, and I'm going to use the envelope sequencer. So here I loaded a sort of transgate shape, and let's try some preset. Okay, I'll need to speed this up to 1/16. What I want to do here is that every step is a 16th of a bar. I'll try some preset. How does that work now? Sorry. I think it works pretty well. Maybe I just want it a little bit more smooth. So here I clicked here because you can turn the points from very straight angular points to S curves. So it just smoothes the angles a little bit more, and you have the smooth here as well, so it's pretty nice. And maybe we can just add another layer of like craziness here. Maybe filter movement. Maybe stereo actually. So let's see. I won't use the stereo phase. I will use the stereo rate, so that the left and the right don't have the same rate. It's a bit like more mesmer. It will be more like hypnotizing, let's say. Maybe a good old MS-20. Okay, this is pretty nice. Maybe let's go for a super unison. Let's see the difference. And let's see if it works. Pretty good. What's nice here is that this riser I had, the movements I have on the strings, I think it blends pretty well actually. It feels curated and it didn't take much effort. So yeah, I think it's nice. It's pretty good. Okay. That works. Yep. Well, I think this works. Okay, guys. I hope you learned some stuff. I'm not pretty sure what I can add now. Maybe I can add let's try real quick. Little tape stop maybe. Something pretty drastic, so maybe we want pretty much everything inside. So yeah, by the way, a lot of people ask me like, you know, shall I use motions on a single track, on a group, a bus, you know? And to be honest, there is no rule. It can be really good to do one single job on one single instrument, like maybe side chains between your kick and your bass using the external mode, or just transgate on a very specific element, or just one transition, for example, built on a pad or something, where you will have a riser or a noise ramping up and so on. But also you can just try to get everything inside. You know, you can group beats, group tracks, or even put it on the master. You know, as soon as you know what you're doing, I think, you know, there's no proper rules. Like a good idea is a good idea. It doesn't have to be conventional. You know, as soon as it sounds good and delivers something original. So maybe here we can just get another tape stop. And maybe we want to do it just on these elements. I'll just group them. Let's try real quick. So we have this kind of risers. We have quite a lot of elements, but maybe this would be the conclusion, you know. So let's start from a blank template. Just going to turn off everything. And let's try a tape stop. Okay, it's not working. What's happening? Okay, so it's not really hearable because of the 808 being out. And if we put everything inside, what happens? Okay, I'll just go for one. Okay, this works. So 1 every 4 times, like this. Let's try it out. Coming soon. That works. I could have even like removed the very end, like cut everything, put a tape stop before. But you get the idea. So it's pretty quick to get those like soft transitions from one part to another. So yeah, or just like, you know, make very simple elements a bit more alive, a bit more like to bring ideas, you know. I really see it as both a utility to do small jobs, sidechains, stuff like that, distortions, a lot of different jobs, but also, you know, as a creative kick. Sometimes, you know, I'm like in front of a few elements, I'm like, okay, I'm not really sure of what I'm doing now. And, you know, sometimes you have, even if you're using loops, you know, no shame. But I guess for everybody using loops, the goal is to get something a bit more like, you know, personal, that reflects a little bit more yourself as an artist. And, you know, I think Motions is really good at doing this, you know, whether it's loops or just elements where you just do a very rough sketch of an idea and you put motions on it and you just let yourself be guided by the presets, like maybe using the different types for browsing. You know, I showed you already. Maybe figure what you want to do. What do I want to do? Maybe I want some ambience, some ducking. Maybe I want to add glitches. Maybe I want to add saturation and so on. And, you know, try out stuff. I mean, the sound designers on this factory, they did a very fantastic job. It's almost very hard to market as a product because it's so polyvalent that it can do a lot of different jobs, you know. But that's the good thing as well, you know. You get the creative kick when you need it, and if you don't really know what to do, you can just maybe randomly try different jobs, and if something, you know, ticks your ears, well, you know, it can be the kickstart of something great, you know. So I really like to just use it to get some ideas and to be creative, especially after work, you know, you're so tired. This little creative boost is really welcome. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little tour. I mean, I wasn't really exhaustive. I just wanted to show you how I would use it if I was doing, for example, some drill. If I was doing something else, maybe something electronic, I would have a different usage, you know. If I was doing like drum and bass and so on, I would process drum breaks to make them like fully customized without micro editing, micro slicing everything. I would definitely do extensive use of the distortions and so on and create insane textures. I mean, I really recommend, if you don't have the plugin, to install the demo, because there are some presets that are really top notch. And whether it's in the distortions, in the gated rhythms, in the sequence filters, you have really a lot of stuff happening, and it's really inspiring. So anyway, I couldn't cover everything. I just wanted to go through, how you can improve yourself. The better way to do it is just to try the demo. Right now we have a launch offer, so you have pretty interesting discounts depending on if you own products or not. Even for newcomers, you have a discount. And the best is just to try the demo and create a few tracks, let yourself be guided by the effect, and figure how it can boost your creativity or just be a very good tool assistant to produce your music. So yeah, maybe you can jump to the questions now, if you don't mind, and we'll see if you have specific stuff to ask, and I'll do my best to answer. So let's go. So first question, hello. I'm experimenting with the use case where the plugin is a standalone noise source, and I'm particularly interested to see how external sidechaining and texture envelope follow works in this context to modulate noise textures. Okay, so it's true that I didn't really show you how to use sidechains and so on, so I will show you real quick. So maybe you can just take the 808 here. So maybe I read the question a bit too fast, but the question was, how can I, generate noise, for example, in my tracks, and make it maybe more interactive with the rest of the elements. So the first thing I could answer is the same thing I did with the 808. So I have my 808, and what I did here is I have my distortion and my noise interacting directly with the input signal here. So you have something pretty organic. And I figured there was a problem here. And here maybe I can try to do something else. So instead maybe I'll just add something, So here we have the volume, it's unused. So it's basically doing nothing. And what I can do maybe is use the external mode here. And here the volume and the dynamics in particular will react to the sidechain signal. So here in Efx Motion, so I'm in live, so this is how it's handled, but in every video you have a sidechain input, I hope, or you. Here maybe what I want to do is select the kick, And here my kick is coming in, so we can see in the visualizer, here, that's the kick. And for example, I can, what can I do here? I can either do a dynamics like ducking, like this. So here I'm doing directly a sidechain like you would do with a compressor in your DAW, And so the question was, can I do that to trigger noise, for example? Well, yes, you can. So for example, if I do the same here, instead of having the noise kicked by the by the sub, I can do it with the kick. Well, okay, it's not as sexy as before. And here it's the kick who's triggering everything. Yeah. So I put it back like before. Okay, so I'll jump to the next question now. So hopefully you can use the external mode to do such usage. It's also available in the envelope followers and so on. So you're pretty flexible with the sidechains. So I'm jumping back to the next question. So I like to evolve the sound over the course of several minutes, drone style. Is there a limitation to the number of bars the sound can be manipulated? Yeah. So you have a limitation. Actually, I think it's 32 or 24. So when you want to, to do longer stuff, maybe you will have to figure a way to make it longer. Otherwise, you can use the unsynced mode, like in Hertz. And here you can go down pretty low, like 0.01 Hertz or something. So I guess it's like something like 1 minute long or even more. So yeah, you have a way, to work around. So I'm jumping to the next questions. So yeah, and basically, if you want to go in Hertz instead of synced to have longer times, you just have to click on the color label next to the rate, and you will have access to the different synchronization modes. So another question, very unrelated though. When is Spark 2 coming out? If it's in your work. Okay, so someone is asking if we're working on a new Spark. I cannot say, but Spark, is basically Spark 2 exists still, but it's an old product, and right now we don't have really other drum solutions. So I understand this question, but I'm sorry, I cannot disclose information like this. So next question. Can you change the time signature within the plugin, or is it automatically synced? Like if I had to put it in 3/4. Time signature is a bit more complicated. You have different synchronization modes, so you can do triplets, dotted, etc. But time signature, you cannot edit it, sadly for you. So I'm jumping into the next question. It's a wonderful product, but I wonder, any plans to implement the ability to choose the Efx example, 2 filters in series? It would be awesome to have 2 hemisphere. Okay. So what this person is asking is, do we have a plan to be able to replace the different modules within the plugin? So you're not the only one who asked already, and it's true that it would make the plugin a bit more polyvalent, especially when doing like distortions and so on. Being able to filter, distort, filter, maybe distort again, is quite something. So the first implementation, like you can see, you cannot really change the modules. On the other hand, you can reorganize them the way you want. And then in the last tab, where you have the Efx and the beat repeat, you can also reorganize within this area. But so far, you cannot replace the modules. But maybe for V2, it's a good idea. And if we see a lot of interest in doing so, it could be possible one day. So what was the feedback you got from users so far about this plugin? Pretty good, actually. So first remarks, some people said, it looks like Effectrix, or it looks like a shaper box, or it looks like something else. So of course, we don't reinvent the wheel all the time, and we took inspiration from a lot of different products, but also from our own assets. A product revolving around these like multi-segment envelopes. Multi-segment envelopes was really core of our products back in the days, in 2015 when we first released them. And people are pretty interested. What I really liked is a few people was kind of skeptical in the beginning, and afterward they came back on forums and said, actually, I tried the plugin, and it's completely different from what I expected, and it's also different from the competitors. People sometimes refer to Infiltrator or to Shaperbox, which have this paradigm of being able to draw shapes, and apply different through different modules. And actually, I was really happy that people took the time to try, and I think it's really important because the workflow is different. So a different workflow makes different ideas, and also we have a different feature set. It's sometimes less complicated than some of the solutions on the market, but also sometimes you have a different depth. I think, you know, having the 5 modules and then the beat repeat and the effects resampling everything is a big deal in this plugin. You know, being able like to process everything, resample, roll, tape stop everything, and then being able to have effects and modulate them really makes a whole difference on the flexibility. And so yeah, and even sound designers working on the project told me that's a really good plugin. I was really inspired, you know. And you know, from a first sight, we don't really have a, you know, a new technology inside. We don't have like a crazy granular engine or whatever, but it packs a lot and in a very cool workflow. And I think this is what makes it inspiring. And you also have the freedom to browse, you know, presets and be very surprised because of its versatility. So yeah, amazing feedback so far, and I hope it continues that way. So next question. Will it work with most DAW? Yeah, like definitely. So for our instruments and effects, we have on the FAQ a list of compatible DAW, and basically all the most used platforms are supported. So if you're using a very dark and obscure platform, I cannot guarantee that it will work because we won't have like a QA stamp on it saying we support it fully. Might work, but it's not certain. So if you have any doubts, just go to the FAQ, compatibility, search for compatibility or something, and you will find the information. Is there a randomizer? So if you're talking about a presets randomizer, no, you cannot really randomize presets and generate ideas like this. On the other hand, you have in the modulators some random generators. And here you can modulate any parameter and randomize it based on a clock or sync to the envelopes of the modules and so on. But you don't really have like one click generate a new preset. Gotta work sometimes. Next question. Any benefits of using elements for ducking compared to built-in sidechain duckings on kicks in most commandos? Well, I mean, unlike a compressor, when you're doing sidechain ducking and so on, here we can really draw the shape of the movement you would like. You can visualize the audio behind, so you can get very precise. And you can, you know, using a compressor built in your DAW is probably faster, but if you want to do something very surgical and have a lot of control over the result, over how do you interact with the source and the duct element, I think it gets to another level, and it's pretty fast as well. You know, you just have to click on sidechain in your rack or in your instance of plugin, click the X button, and it's done. So it remains pretty fast, and so I like to do it. And then you can also use other techniques, like use the gate sequencer. You can use the transient detector. So either you can create patterns, or either if you use the transient detector, you can just detect whenever there is an element coming, and it will duck by itself, so you don't have to like mess around with crazy racks and so on to get something like this. So I think you are more empowered when using this plugin compared to like using sidechain in a DAW. So next question, can you change the signal flow of the effects in the plugin? Yes, so basically you have these the four modules: noise, distortion, filter, volume, panning. Each and every tab, when you hover it with your mouse, you will see little dots appearing. It means that you can drag it horizontally. And here you can rearrange the order of the modules the way you want. Then you have the last tab. This one cannot be moved, but if you go in this tab, you will have the beat repeat and 2 effect slots. And each effect or the beat repeat can be dragged laterally and basically reorganized within the FX beat repeat like space, let's say. So yeah, it's pretty flexible. Next question, would you apply it to drum breaks? Yes. I almost regret not to have showed you how to do it. But basically, I think what's interesting when you're working with drum breaks is to get your own signature, because I really love drum breaks basically. But the problem is if you are just taking like drum breaks from a pack pre-processed, you sound the same as other people. And if you use the raw drum break, well, you can customize it, but it's pretty time consuming. So if you're using motions, basically you can just try presets first, and trust me, there are very, very, very good presets to process drum breaks. And either you're fine working with the presets, or either you have two options, I would say. You start from a preset and you customize it the way you want. And I think it's really a good way to proceed, because the ideas brought by the sound designers are really nice, and it's really well made. So if you start from this basis, you will learn a lot of stuff. And then you will just appropriate yourself with these techniques and just customize it the way you want, so that it sounds a bit more personal. But otherwise, you can just go crazy, start from scratch, and do your own processing. And yeah, it's so good at doing the drum breaks. You have all the curves, so you can just do stutters with the volume. You can distort it, you can filter it, you can do stereo stuff, and then you can also resample it using the beat repeat, so you can just do crazy blends and so on. So just try the different presets, like in stutter, in glitch, in everything. It's so good, so good. Will there be future updates and new patches in the future? I hope so. And I would like actually to continue to improve this plugin. I think there is room for many more presets. There are already like 300 or something. But each preset is sometimes so inspiring, gets you new ideas that I think I will be craving for new presets in a few weeks or in a few months. So yeah, I will definitely keep it in mind and bring new content for it, and maybe new features. Who knows? So the next question is, do you have a lot of risers and time-based effects, especially for sections of songs? Yes, definitely. So during the live stream, I used a little bit of them, but actually it was really like first click, oh, okay, I found something nice. I'm not going to search for presets for a long time, because it was a bit better for the audience to see something great. But yeah, you have different sections. You have a riser section, you have a slow movement section. You have different sections that will definitely provide you with great materials to create transitions, evolutions within a section of a song. Maybe in a break, filter out stuff, like calm down the energy and just bring it back at the end so that it can drop afterwards and so on. So it's one of the jobs where it's really good. And it's not too restrained to transitions. It does so many things. So it's good, you can do the transitions, but it's also doing the other jobs really nicely. So yeah, you should try it out. And basically this was the last question. So yeah, I hope my insights were helpful. And once again, I can only recommend to try the demo. So many people said, oh, I tried it, and it's so good. I'm so surprised and everything. So, the demo is free. You can just install it. If you don't like it, just remove it. But I just recommend to give it a try. And don't do it too late. We have a launch offer right now. So you're basically entitled to a cool price during the launch. So yeah, I can only recommend to try it out, get crazy, and once again, don't be ashamed to use the presets. I think it's good to learn the effect and to learn the in and the out techniques and so on. But actually, if you want to progress, to ramp up pretty quickly and to be inspired, the presets are insane. And sound designers are really doing advanced stuff, sometimes very basic, but sometimes very advanced. And I think going through the presets, finding inspiration, and then trying to understand how the guy did all the routines or how it was made is really a great way to get better, and at the same time to be efficient when working. There is a time where you might want to do sound design because you're tired, and there are some moments where you want the creativity to be here and to, you know, to value it and to value your time where you're inspired. So at this moment, I really recommend to use the presets and to go straight to delivering the ideas and to lay out everything so that you can capture the inspiration it will bring you. Yeah. So yeah, once again, I really love this product and I really hope that you will like it. And yeah, stay tuned for some news, maybe new updates in the future. And remember, try the demo. I think it's worth it. So see you next time. It was good to have you. And yeah, take care.